Hey y'all, welcome on back into this Boozin Food Kitchen. You know you're always welcome. I'm Shelia Edwards here, and I'm always gonna ask you, how's that peak going? I hope it's going great for you already. But now let's talk about this cake we're gonna be doing today. This is an all the way adult cake. I just felt like this in the spirit today, so I made it on a very small scale. That's why I used a little cake mix there. But at any rate, we're gonna get on over here on the counter so we can get our fresh ingredients ready, because this cake does call for us doing a few little fresh things in there, even though we're going to use cake mix to do it. But we're going to get it together. And y'all, I think my son is going to be here later today, so I'm going to see if I can get him to sample a little piece on camera for you. All right? So let's get over here on the counter and get this Harvey Wallbanger cake to going. All right, meet you on the counter. What you see me doing here is zesting my orange peels into this bowl, as we're going to need some fresh zest from the orange for this particular recipe for this cake, you know. And so I'm just going to zest the orange before I commence to squeezing the juice out of it. Now, if you want to go to the store and purchase fresh orange juice, that's your choice also. It's a little costly, you know, when you're doing fresh orange juice. From buying it from the store, but you know, for this recipe we only need a half cup plus 2 tablespoons of orange juice, and we need about 2 tablespoons of zest here. So this will do just fine. I've already done. I'm doing it. I think this will take about 4 oranges, I would say, to do. So that's fine, just to squeeze it by hand. So I've zested there. And now, so I'm cutting it in half here, and then we're just gonna squeeze it here. Turn my light on. I don't know what I'm doing over here. This darkness, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and squeeze it. As I said, we need a half cup plus 2 tablespoons of fresh orange juice here. Look at how much juice I've squeezed already from just 3 or 4 oranges, I think. Now, in this bowl, I already have a box of just some white cake mix here, and you can by all means do this cake from scratch with the flour if you want to, but I found that this recipe works just as well, and my taste buds love it from scratch or from the box. So here I have a box of the cake mix already in here. Now what I'm adding here is a half cup of vegetable oil. All right, and then what I want to, right after the vegetable oil, remember we did this freshly squeezed orange juice at the beginning. I'm putting a half cup right out of the dish, half cup right on in there. Okay, I'm gonna move this around just a little bit here so everything can start to play well together. I'm gonna move this over, and now what I need to add here is some booze already, honey. Right here we're using this Gran Gala Orange Liqueur, and I'm gonna put, this is a 1/3 cup that I'm putting in here. You know you're gonna taste it, right? Okay, so that's a 1/3 cup of that in there. Put that over here, and I'm gonna move this around a little bit. Ooh, yes, honey, already smelling mighty good. Okay, now I'm gonna get my eggs put in there, and I'm gonna beat this with a mixer, don't worry about that, but I just always like to get things started with just a spoon. Okay, so I'm gonna put, this is 4 eggs that I'm now gonna add, and I'm just gonna put them in one at a time, and I like to just kind of stir after each egg. We'll keep going until we get all 4 of them in there. So the eggs are already beat in there. So you know what this Harvey Wallbanger is not a Harvey Wallbanger if you do not have your orange juice and your Galliano liquor and then your vodka. But in our case, we didn't use the Galliano, we used the Gran Gala there. But now we're ready to add our vodka, and we're going to do 2 tablespoons of vodka in here. 1 and 2. Okay, and I'm going to move this around just a little bit before we put our beaters in there. Yep. This is going to be a really good cake. I've done it from scratch before and from the box, and I tell you, each time it has served me well both ways. My taste buds were happy. So I've got everything kind of going down in there. And now I'm going to put some beaters into this cake. But before I put my beaters in, I'm going to go ahead and get my pans prepared. Because once I add that zest here, we're going to want to put them right on the pan. So here I got my pans, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this Baker's Joy all around in there. And my oven is already set on 350, so this will be ready to go in when we do these last couple of things here. So I'm going to put my beaters in here for a couple of minutes, then we'll fold in the zest and we'll be ready. So we allowed those beaters to go in there for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to get some air, into that batter. So now the last thing we're going to do in this recipe is we're going to put in some of these fresh orange zest that we did at the beginning here. And my recipe calls for about 2 teaspoons or so. So you really can't measure these right here by teaspoons, So I have my teaspoon here, and I'm just gonna kind of lay it on there until we get to about that, so I can give you some idea of measurements, you see. So yeah, about like that, maybe a little better. And we're gonna put that in there. Now, this right here is dehydrated orange zest. Now, sometimes when vegetable and fruit are dehydrated, they become more potent. So that's why I wanted to use a little bit of this in there too. I usually use this on chicken or any type of poultry there, but we're gonna use it today along with the orange zest in here. And this is just a couple of shakes that I'm putting in there. A couple of shakes, not even a 1/4 of a teaspoon there. I'm gonna kind of just move this around in here a little bit, like so. Yeah. And now we're ready to put this into our cake pans here. Okay? Try to get them as even as possible. And I'm using 2 9-inch cake pans. So when we put them in the oven, that means we're going to bake them for anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. As you can see towards the back here, our cake is out the oven, and the layers are here cooling on these 2 racks as we get our frosting together. In this bowl, I've used my old-fashioned sifter here to sift in 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, and I have a stick of butter here that I've broken it into half here to get it down into my sugar. Okay, so now to this orange frosting, I'm going to put a teaspoon of this zest. Remember, we did our zesting at the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and put, and I tell you, it's kind of hard to measure this, as far as teaspoons or so. So it's going to be kind of like that I'm going to measure. Let me put this a little extra in there. So that's just a little fresh zest off the orange there. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons, and this is still, the fresh juice that we squeezed out of those oranges in the beginning. I'm going to put 2, and that's still a pup up there, but I'm going to go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of this fresh squeezed orange juice down in there. Okay. Got that. Move that around just a little bit there. Okay. Now, what I want to add in here is a tablespoon of this Gran Gala. Put that in. Okay. Go ahead and start to move this around. Okay, so we kind of got it incorporated here. And this is kind of the consistency of it right now. I'm just going to put just a touch of this orange juice in there, and I'm kind of done with that. I just wanted to loosen it up just a little bit more before I would put it on the cake. So yeah, this is kind of how I want it, just a little bit more loose. And so yeah, this is kind of some more of a creamy consistency now. And now we're ready to frost our cake. So I've already added some of the frosting to our first layer. Put on here, so just kind of get that spread out. And I like to push it towards the edges more so. Okay, y'all, so I finished frosting our cake here, and I cut up a few of the little oranges and twisted them and put them on top. And I'll be the first to tell y'all, decorating the cake is not my ministry. My ministry is in finding the right taste. But I think she looks okay there. So there she is, our wonderful Harvey Wallbanger cake with this using the Gran Gala instead of the Gala Liqueur here. And there she is, so enjoy. All right, y'all. Well, we got it done. This Harvey Wallbanger right here, if good was a cake, it would be right on here. I'm going to go on and get a taste of this, y'all. But I want to say to you all, if you like this recipe, go on and show your like right there. Hit that button. And Austin is here also, so he's going to do his own little tasting of the cake for y'all to let y'all know how it is from another perspective. But right now, tell them what you got to say about the cake.
Alright, give it a little taste. I'll say it's like a orange sunrise. You know, it got a little zest to it. Use it right here, Gran Gala.
Yeah, that's what's in it.
Yeah, I can definitely get a little boozy feel to it. I'm 22 by the way, so it's legal. If you ain't boozing, you lose.
All right, guys, I tell you heard it. Bye, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of the day. See y'all next time.